Hey, this is Seen Better Days. My name's Andrew. I'm joined by my co-host Aria
Hello.
and a very special guest, Christina from Forever Stars. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Hello, Andrew. I'm doing good. Just hanging out.
This is where we pretend we haven't been talking for 10 minutes already.
Yeah.
This is our first podcast, our first episode, and
You can tell.
if I remember correctly, right? This is Aria's first ever podcast in general, right?
Yeah, you did one about wrestling, didn't you?
I did do one about wrestling for a little bit because I'm a big wrestling fan. But before that, I had my own radio show for a while.
Wow.
That's
And
cool.
and then if you dig really back deep, I did a video game podcast when I was a child, but I don't know if that counts. Um, so yeah, we're just talking to Christine today about her new single, her life, and music and everything else. So Thunder and Lightning just came out a couple weeks ago as a recording. What was the process of making this new single like? Because this one has a little bit of a darker tone. And I remember when I talked to you in person at the show we played together, a lot of the times you like to write a lot of uplifting and inspiring music. Whereas while I'm not saying this one isn't, it definitely has a darker edge to it. What was that process like?
Yeah. So honestly, we wrote this song, I think probably back in like 2018, and we had recorded it in 2019, and then 2020 happened. And so it's just been a long time coming with this song, Thunder and Lightning. But yeah, so essentially, since our last album that we put out is called Always Hope, it came out in 2017. So Thunder and Lightning was the next song that we wrote after that album had come out. And Troy and Nathan in my band sent me the track, just the instrumental, and like asked me to write my lyrics and melody to it and all that. And when I got it, I had a bit of writer's block and just like was kind of doubting myself because our Always Hope album did so well in our little local scene and online as well. I didn't think that I could top that. And so I actually was sitting on my bed just thinking to myself, like, I can't write something better. You know, as musicians, we're always trying to top like the last thing that we put out, and it's a lot of pressure. And so I ended up just kind of writing my frustrations out in that actual song about just this storm of like doubt and fear in my head, and self-sabotage. So the chorus lyrics say, "Do you want to take this all from me, blinded by the dark so suddenly?" So I was just so frustrated. I was actually talking to myself, like, do you want to fail? I'm just blinded by the dark. And so the whole song does have more of a dark theme to it because that's just like where I was at the time with my frustration with myself. But in the bridge, it does kind of, I kind of like take a moment to just remind myself like that I am a fighter and there are going to be brighter days. It's just a tough one today. So even though it is a darker video and song, I still like to stay true to what we talked about, Andrew, about just looking on the brighter side of things and staying positive, because I think that's essential to just having a good like mental health attitude towards things.
You always write lyrics like after the instrumental, or is that?
Yeah, actually, generally. So yeah, because the guys will send me the instrumental and then I'll kind of listen to that and see kind of like what the music is saying, as like weird as that sounds, just like what is the vibe here? And then I'll kind of try to like match to it.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do in Hoity-Toity. Like it's usually starts with like a riff or a jam and then becomes a full instrumental, and then lyrics and vocal melodies come like completely last.
Yeah. What about you guys, Andrew?
Complete opposite.
Yeah, no,
Really?
Andrew writes all of his shit like just him and a guitar, and then it becomes like a full band song.
Right. And then everyone else builds around it.
That's cool. I like that. I like that route too. I used to write that way as well, but then I got lazy and I just let the guys do it.
I writing that way sometime. It's just like, it's so hard to like switch up the entire, like, I guess, process. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of definitely have a routine for like writing, and we kind of haven't broken from it yet. So like, I'd like to try, but you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
As you can see from working with us, the routine is I come up with something, Miguel argues with me, and then we do it my way anyways.
That's funny.
Talking about how you were inspired to write Thunder and Lightning, is that where the visuals in the music video came from? How you were like literally strapped to the bed? Is that what
Yeah.
was going in your head?
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of a visual metaphor for how a lot of people who feel like they go through like depression or anxiety or any kind of real like dark storm in their head oftentimes are just, they feel really stuck. And for me, I was literally sitting in bed just feeling that emotion, and like I wasn't going to get anywhere. So I wanted that to be portrayed in the music video. So there was an actual storm, which I don't know if y'all could see, but it was raining. The rain didn't show up as well as I had hoped. But yeah, and then with like a twist ending, I wanted to do at the end, just where I had finally made it out of being trapped in this bed, and then I turn around and like the whole scene is clean and normal. And for me, in my experience, that was just stating I was doing this to myself, and it was all in my head the whole time. So that's how I felt writing that song.
So you sort of mentioned it earlier in passing, that you used to write one way and maybe you don't anymore. Your first song or first big single that I saw you released was a song called Catching Fire, I believe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you
As-
did go back.
as Christina Murphy. Is
Yeah.
that so? It's sort of a two-part question. One, is that the process you used back then? And two, is there a particular reason why you actually wanted to stop just going as Christina Murphy and do the band? Because a lot of people say that it is more restricting being in a band in ways, because you also have to juggle everyone else's input, emotions, everything else like
You have
that.
to
So I'm just curious.
to listen to Miguel complain.
You have to fucking listen to a Tool fan try to talk how to write pop rock, but
That's tough, man. um the first question. So it's funny, Catching Fire was actually the one song off of that album that I did under my Christina Murphy name that I did not write the music to. So that was kind of funny. All the other ones I did. But yeah, I used to just, before Forever Starts Today, I put out a couple of songs under my name, and I was doing this whole thing solo. So I was writing the music, but then I still had a band. So they would play with me, but I was writing everything. And then it came time to write another album, and I do feel like I had a little bit of pressure, like from the guys, to make this a full band thing. But I also didn't have the money to financially support writing another album solo. So I just kind of went for it. And I'm really glad that I did, because you're right. Like, you do have to juggle more opinions in a band. We always joke that it's like you're in a relationship with four other guys or whoever's. Yeah. And so you think, like, everyone thinks having one successful relationship's hard. You got to balance that shit with like four other people. Right. So it is hard, but if you have it with good, solid people, we've just had a great flow, and I love my guys, and we're like family now. So it definitely gets easier too, splitting the financial bill with a bunch of other people. But I should have, honestly, I always think to myself, I should have gone as FST a lot sooner, personally.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So I don't, if you ever have like not meaning to step on your toes, Aria. Like, please, if you have anything, interject. Again, I know it's your. I'll cut this out. I know it's your first time doing this. I don't want you to feel like you can't ask anything. Okay.
So what's the fattest shit you've ever taken?
Never.
That's funny.
Now you got to keep it in.
Oh,
Blooper
God.
reel.
Probably on the road.
He's trying to have a
right?
moment. He's trying to make me comfortable. I'm like, all right, fuck you.
All right.
Let's throw this one out.
What
And action.
what was more personal gratifying to you, going on Warped Tour or going on your own personal headlining tour with 18th and Edison?
Oh gosh. Going on tour with 18th and Addison was really cool. But I'm gonna say Warped Tour because whose dream was it? Like, who didn't have that dream to play Warped Tour?
No, for sure.
Yeah, growing up. So I'm definitely gonna say that one. We did play acoustic, so we were put on at like 11 a.m., but it still was absolutely a dream come true. So I'm gonna vote that guy.
Didn't you guys play Warped Tour, Aria?
Yeah, we just did one day. How many dates did you guys do?
Just one as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's fun as hell though. It's just a
Yeah.
great environment to be in. I remember when we did it, we lucked out and we were like I was like 16, 17, no, 16. Like I got my driver's license the day before.
Nice.
I remember they didn't give us like our set time until like we got there. We were supposed to get there at like 9 a.m. and they were going to give us the schedule. And we figured like, well, obviously we're going to be playing it like first thing in the morning. They ended up putting us at fucking like 6:30.
What?
I don't know why. We just lucked out, and it was also the stage was right across from the food. So like we just got like that shit right handed to us. Like that was just I don't know. We just lucked out. I had no idea why. I wasn't actually in the band. They won the spot like on that date in like a battle of the bands, but I wasn't in the band at the time. And I guess I don't know exactly how it went, but they didn't actually win the battle of the bands, but they were allowed to have the slot anyway. Like both the winner and them got to be on that date. And so we figured like, well, we didn't even win it. Like, obviously we're going to be first thing in the morning. And then for some reason, they just put us like in a nice ass slot. I don't know. Maybe they messed up. Maybe they forgot.
I don't know. That didn't only just like work out for you once. That worked out for you guys like multiple times.
No, like literally. Okay. This is a tangent, but like, I feel like 90% of the cool things that have happened to us have just been like, oh, that's convenient. Like, fucking I just got like I became a member of the Soli Guitars like artist roster, and they sent me a guitar. Like it's a nice guitar and it was like free for me, and it's literally just because the guy Sully, who like runs the whole thing, saw one of my videos and liked me and was like, hey, you want a guitar? Like I didn't do shit, I'm just here. And so people are just nice sometimes, I guess. I don't know, sometimes you just luck out.
It's better to be lucky than good in a lot of ways.
Better to be lucky than good. Yeah, for sure. I do love the silver spoon. I don't know where it came from, but I do love just having shit handed to me. It's very nice. Because sometimes
go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say sometimes it's the exact opposite, where you like work your hardest on something and you're like, this is for sure gonna be like the sickest thing ever, and then it doesn't pan out. That also always happens. But
that's
like,
it most of the
it's
time.
nice when it's the exact opposite. Like you put no effort in and things just happen to be really nice.
It kind of reminds me of having to shill out a shit ton of pre-sale tickets, and then you're promised the world, and then you really do just play to a room full of your friends that were probably going to go anyways.
Your friends and your mom and your mom's friends.
Right. I guess I'll ask both of you, since it's right there. Do you guys think pre-sale is like a necessary evil, or do you just think it's complete bullshit? Like, I get the idea of it and like fundamentally, but it also is super restricting on bands, I feel, to have to put on
really
even more financial responsibility.
Because I feel like that's really like at least from my experience talking with East Coast bands, like I know that they barely ever do it on the East Coast, but it's like super common here. Do they do that like very much in Texas?
We used to, but it's not super common now, actually. I haven't thought about it in a really long time. Yeah. We don't really do that too much anymore over here. But I remember how much of a pain it was for sure. I actually had a like thing come up on my Facebook from years ago, where I was announcing a show, and then I was offering to buy the tickets for anybody who wanted to go, just to get those pre-sale ticket numbers up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do that all the time with Loser Parade. If we have a pre-sale show, I'll be like, oh, ticket giveaway. If anyone wants to come, and then I just take $20 out of my pocket, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can work out if it's the right show.
I agree.
But I feel like most people who do like those kinds of shows aren't interested in making it a good show. They're more interested in getting the money. And that's why they do the pre-sale, is because it guarantees that they get their money. But like, you know, like we did a show at the Viper Room, and like we were able to sell all of our tickets. I think it was
too.
Yeah. I think it was, what was it? Was it 25 or 50?
It was 25. It was 25 for us, but we played at midnight. So
yeah, well, it was 25, but they gave us 50, I remember, and we sold all 50. So we got to keep like the leftover money, and that was nice because, I mean, as nice as it is to play free shows or shows where like, you know, you don't have to worry about selling tickets, those also usually we don't ever go home with that much money, you know. Like I think we played at a bar recently where we like the door split, we made like for us $35 like as a band, you know. Once you like split all of the door costs, because it was just like, you know, cover, you know. But with the Viper Room show, like the place was really packed at the peak because us, this other band Q Bomb, and Fang Banger, who are both like based in LA, were like, we all sold all our tickets. And so like that's, you know, that should be like 150 people right there, I'm pretty sure. And it was packed. Like honestly, it was a fire hazard, but like at the peak, like it was really nice. And you know, we were able to sell a lot of merch. We went home with a good amount of change, you know. So if it's like well done, I think it can be beneficial for the bands and the promoters. But I think most of the time, like 90% of the time, we'll get hit up for like a pre-sale show, and it'll be some like local band showcase where it's like, you already know that none of these bands are going to sell 25 tickets because they don't have 25 followers, you know. Like right. It'll be like, or if they do, it'll be like, you know, everybody brought their entire extended family, you know. Like it's not going to be like a bunch of roaring fans. It's going to be everybody's dads and their English teacher and whatever, you know, who they begged to come. Like, and that sucks. And, you know, nobody really wins in those scenarios because you don't get a good show. I mean, you win if you are making the money, but like, you know, the fans or the audience really win because you don't get the best lineup and you don't get, you know, the best show. You don't get the best crowd. It's just kind of, hey, here's a bunch of money to let me play on this stage to a bunch of people who don't really care, you know? And
yeah,
so
those 100%. Audiences are always the ones who leave after whoever they came to see, when they're done, then they leave. And then you're literally just playing to like the 5 people you sold to.
You're lucky at that point if they get there a little early and they'll catch your last couple songs at best. So I saw, changing subjects, I saw that one of your biggest influences as a singer-songwriter was Avril Lavigne. In fact, one of the first 2 songs you ever learned to play on guitar was Tomorrow by Avril Lavigne. Is there a specific reason why her? For me, like growing up, it was Green Day. It was one of the, I know. I write Green Day songs, and I heard it at a young age and it was just super influential. Was it something you found at a young age and you're like, oh, I just want to write like that, or I want to be like that at some point? Or I think there's a question in there somewhere.
I'm following. I loved Green Day too. I used to go to Guitar Center and like find the Green Day tabs books so I could learn their songs on guitar, like way back before I used the internet. But anyway, yeah, so I think I found out about Avril when I was like 12, and I was just a little tomboy. And so I loved, like, I related to her whole image back then, was just like the anti-Britney, like tomboy, hanging with the guys, skateboarding, and all that. So I just really connected with her. And she was the first person at that time who was all about like being yourself. And I don't know, I just really connected to her whole branding image at that time. And so I picked up the guitar and taught myself through, learning, going to Guitar Center and just like grabbing those books. I'd see them for like Green Day and Avril and who else? Blink 182. Yeah. And then from there, poor thing just kind of disappeared, but she's back now. I actually kind of like her new song.
Yeah. Travis Barker's bringing back pop punk by himself.
Dude, every single day I see a new ad saying featuring Travis Barker. That guy's banking.
Honestly, it should be Travis Barker featuring, like, he should just drop an album with like all of his bitches, and it's just, this is the Travis Barker album. Like Slash did that on his first fucking solo album. He just had like, here's Slash and, you know, some other fuckers singing, and I think Fergie was on one of those songs, which is a weird combo, but like he just did a whole album and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna have a different singer every time, who cares?
Waiting for the new Fergie pop punk drop. I'm in.
Featuring Travis Barker.
Yes.
Fergie featuring Travis Barker. I want to see that. I want to know what that would sound like.
That would probably be good, honestly.
Can y'all guess who when I was a kid made me want to start being a musician? Can you guess?
Was it a guitarist?
Technically, not much of a guitarist.
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know why. I was gonna say Steve Vai, but
I did not know who Steve Vai was when I was 8 years old.
I feel like if anyone would, it would be you, though. Like,
if
you would know who Steve Vai
no,
was.
No. I for the record, like, my parents are fucking normies, and my sister was like just a little wee bit alternative, but like it's a very normie answer. I'm gonna not anything surprising or out of left field or alternative.
I'm gonna take an educated guess. I saw you sent a video to the band chat, I think, of your parents playing like a Beatles song. Were you inspired by the Beatles?
Well, that's a good guess.
First of all, those are not my parents.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay, my parents are not that old. I am only 22, and they clearly are like full white hair.
Grandparents?
I mean, they're kind of my step grandparents. I mean, they are my mom's boyfriend's parents. So kind of step grandparents. But my mom's boyfriend is like, I think almost 60, and those are his parents. So I promise you that they are much too old to be my parents.
All right. So what was it then?
But well, okay.
Or who was it?
I'll just give you a hint. I was 8 years old, and it was 2008 because I was born in November 1999. Who to an 8-year-old is the biggest star on the planet?
In 2008?
Yeah, in 2008.
Miley Cyrus?
Yep, Hannah Montana.
Freaking nailed it!
Goddamn Montana. It was Hannah Montana, also the Jonas Brothers, and of course early Demi Lovato back in the fucking camp rock era. That was my shit. That was the shit. Honestly, still kind of goes hard.
Yeah, I loved Demi Lovato back then too, and even now too.
Her first album still holds up. Or sorry, their first album. Shit, I keep forgetting that shit. Yeah, their first album still holds up. It's good as hell. Like, even the songs that aren't singles, like, still are really good and really well written. And I think with Hannah Montana, it was the I can't remember his name, Mitch from SR71, who like wrote like 1985 by Bowling for Soup and like all those other fucking songs. Wrote like a bunch of Hannah Montana's music and shit. So like they had good fucking like people on board.
Are you into like, she's like kind of going through a rock thing right now?
Oh, Miley. Honestly, I don't like any of Miley's current stuff. I wanted to, but I do not like it. I feel like she's so close to being like on the right track, but just like I don't know. Like she picks like just like she's good at the rock voice, but she picks the wrong songs. Like she did a Blondie cover, and it's like with a voice like hers, I feel like if she did One Way or Another or Call Me or something, that would be a banger. But she did Heart of Glass, which is like the song where Debbie Harry sounds like the most gentle and angelic, and she's singing it like full like rock and roll, and I'm like, this is not the right song. It just
Then
isn't.
she killed her zombie cover, like Cranberries.
I haven't heard the zombie cover.
Really good.
Yeah.
So Christina, tell me about the time you ran over a stagehand or knocked over a stagehand with a dirt bike going on the stage. I need context,
Were
please.
you Rob Halford? Why'd you bring a dirt bike on stage?
I didn't run anyone over.
Okay.
So yeah. But this was a long time ago, a good few years back. It was for a battle of the bands that was supposed to be on TV. And so I was just like, well, I'm always thinking, how can we stand out from all the other bands? So I brought it was a little pit bike, so like a little dirt bike. I rode one of those up on stage. But then I think we ended up getting like second place or something like that. And it never ended up airing. So nobody saw it, but yeah, that was my idea.
You got second place and then you ran over the judges.
Yeah, I showed them. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that was just my idea of like, what do you never see happen at a rock show?
Bring that shit back.
Yeah.
You gotta sing on the dirt bike, like doing flips, like full like BMX shit.
Dude, I freaking would if I had more room. But yeah.
Just crash through the windows, bring the show into the streets.
I saw in an interview you did, and I don't know the outlet, so apologies to the outlet, that the first album. Oh,
you got quiet.
Am I okay now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I forgot how my fucking lav mic worked. I saw as a kid, the first album you ever bought was a Boxcar Racer album. Mm-hmm. I think the story went something along the lines of you guys were in Vegas or you were traveling and you snuck out and bought it. Why Boxcar Racer? Why that album?
That's a great question. I think I was like 11 or something, and I went on a family trip to it was a freaking, oh my god, I'm blanking. What's that really popular place in New York with all the lights?
Broadway.
No,
Times Square.
Yes, thank you. Times Square. We stayed on there, and I was raised in like a very conservative, very strict family household. So they told us to stay in the hotel room while the parents like went off and had fun. So the bad kid that I snuck out of that hotel room and crossed the street in Times Square, and bought that album. I can't remember why, because I was so young, other than Tom DeLonge was in it. And I actually found out who Blink-182 was because I was obsessed with Avril Lavigne. And in an interview, she had admitted that she had a crush on Tom DeLonge. So I was like, who's this Tom DeLonge guy? And then that's who I found out who Blink-182 was, and so forth and so forth. So
I remember when I was in middle school, I had started listening to Blink-182, but I had never heard anybody say their name out loud. And so I kept referring to them verbally as Blink 128.
Oh, that's cute.
Both the wrong number and not how it's said.
That's actually
somebody
cute.
Called me out on it and I was like, huh?
Oh, I love that. It's so like innocent.
I was just some fucking stupid kid. I'm like, I like Blink 128.
It's a lot of numbers to keep up with.
That's such a fucking mouthful too.
Yeah, it is.
If Blink 182 was here, they'd make a dick joke out of that.
That sounds like something LimeWire. Really dating myself. Sounds like something LimeWire would have had up.
LimeWire.
Yeah. Did you ruin a computer too downloading music on LimeWire?
No, I never downloaded Wonderwall.exe, but I definitely did get some songs that had the wrong artist name.
Yes, same. I remember for the longest time thinking a lot of songs were written by the Plain White Tees that were not written by the Plain White Tees.
You're like, oh, I love that song Right Now by Sum 41.
That's so funny. I forgot about that.
I was always, I think I don't remember. I think it was Bad to the Bone by ZZ Top. That was the one that like later when I found out that it wasn't them, I was like that shocked me because it took years and I just thought that it was ZZ Top.
It's been a long time since yeah, I won't go into specifics because I do work in the legal field, but I was on a job the other day with a big musician.
With O.J. Simpson?
No, they were. And at one point, the attorney just asked about Napster sales.
Oh,
and
you were
I'm
with
just-
Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm just like, are you like Napster? Wow, that predates LimeWire.
You're like, Napster? I hardly know her.
Christ, Aria. She does that all the time.
It's my favorite joke because it's always funny. It eventually gets to the point if you've done it around the same people enough times that you can just say like Napster and they already know the rest of the joke and they just groan before you can even finish. It's great.
Well, fresh audience here. I enjoyed it.
My favorite is Loser Parade has a song called Goblin, and
Oh boy.
Andrew's already ready to die. He'll be like, this song is called Goblin, and I'll be like,
hold on, before you do that. The first time I heard this, I laughed hysterically.
yes.
But then she's done it at every practice and every show we've done it since.
Because I love to torture him. I love to ruin his life. So Andrew, just pretend that you're on stage introducing the song.
Oh, sure. Okay. This is about as many people would be there anyways.
Hey!
It's not that much of a stretch. All right. So this next song is called Goblin.
Goblin these nuts.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah, I can
go
see
ahead.
that working.
It makes the audience laugh, but after having heard it so many times, I'm done.
Hey, I also come up with new jokes, mostly at your expense.
True. And
We had a lot of fresh material that last show.
We were playing at a festival that we helped put on, and our set was a clusterfuck. A very fun clusterfuck. The band before us ended 10 minutes early, and we write songs that are about 2 to 3 minutes long, and so there's a lot of stretching.
Oh yeah, in between songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my brain was not working that day. So,
Oh, man.
So I only got a couple more questions for you. I know that one of the very first song Forever Starts Today actually wrote together, and I got this from an interview, was a love song, I believe. In your opinion, what does it take to make the perfect love song? Because that's something every artist and almost every genre writes about, is love and everything like that. So in your opinion, what are the ingredients to make a perfect love song?
Well, I'm curious if you guys agree with me or not. Do you all feel like it's easier to write a love song or a song where you're complaining and frustrated about something?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know what love is. And I can't write a song about that because Hathaway already wrote What Is Love. So
Well, for me, it's harder. What about you, Andrew?
It's easier, I would say, personally,
okay.
because just having,
married.
a lot of my songs aren't written about specific people or specific things, but I try to draw from personal experiences / emotions. And so I find it, like, we have a song called Breaking Myself, which is a song that I wrote. Like, I actually had the line, I'm breaking myself in my head after, I guess I'll get real, I don't care. I would tell this on stage anyways. After a failed suicide attempt, like a few years ago. And And so it's harder for me to write about complaining or about deep personal things. Whereas if I'm writing about, oh, this person's so lovely, this person's so great, like it almost just flows on the page because it's,
Wow.
yeah.
I feel like it would be easy to write a love song if I felt it.
Yeah,
If I wasn't single and ready to flamingo, I might have an easier time of that.
That's fair. I have been, in my relationship for over 10 years now. So
Yeah, you gave me a fucking guitar pick with a picture from your wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's cute.
why did I do that?
You were like, you want to see my wedding anniversary guitar pick, and then you handed it to me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I handed it back to you, and you were like, keep it. And I was like, okay. And so now I just have a guitar pick with you two. I mean, it's just a thing that I own now.
Precious.
Okay. All right, fair. All right, but
I'll find a weird photo to put on a custom guitar pick and give it to you in a random situation when you're not expecting it.
perfect.
I'll give you
so
like
glad.
a picture or something. Just
That sounds like something my awkward ass would do.
just so
My
that you
bad.
can have something uncomfortable. I'll give you like a baby picture of me and a rubber ducky.
So you're just recreating the Nirvana cover.
No. No, I would get sued. No, I would do the suing because I'm the baby.
Right, of course. So what you didn't actually answer. You
No, I deflected a little bit, but that was just, I was curious because you guys also write music. I was just curious because for me, love songs are harder to write, but I would say in order to really write a good song that connects with people, no matter what the topic is about, you need authenticity. So you need to like really feel it, like you were talking about from personal experiences, stuff like that. Like when you're just completely transparent, people can grasp the message and they relate to that. So to write a successful love song, I think you just need to write how you really feel. And I mean, Taylor Swift does it, and look at her following. So
yeah, I think one thing about love songs though that is a little hard is there's so many of them that I feel like everything has been done.
oh, for
Like I
sure.
feel like
Yeah.
if you just type "love is blank" and you just put any random word from the dictionary, there's a song with that title.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just how it is. Love is a battlefield. Love is all you need. Love stinks. That's everything that you could think of. It's been done. All the good stuff, all the bad stuff. So now I'm just like, is there anything left to say? Love farts. That's the next one.
I think you could look at it as like, your band has a specific following, a specific audience. So maybe like they haven't heard something, love related from you yet. So yeah, it's been done before, but not by Hoity-Toity or Loser Parade.
I mean, I feel like all of Loser Parade songs have like just like life undertones. Like I find it really hard to sit down and be like, we had a song that we only played twice. It was called Foundations. And I remember I sat down with our old lead player and I was like, I want to write a song about alien cows taking over the earth. Right.
It's different.
That is different.
It was, and I'll play it for you.
Did it sound like
Aria.
Devo?
No, so it is a huge ripoff of the Social Distortion song, where it's like all I wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me.
That is not Social Distortion.
Oh shit!
I need you to know right now that is not Social Distortion.
Did I just get line wired?
That is Suicidal Tendencies.
I knew there was a joke in there somewhere.
Whoops.
That is Suicidal Tendencies. They're a great band. I have seen them multiple times. I actually have a guitar pick from their guitarist.
Does it have his wife on it?
No, it doesn't have his wife on it, but it has the Monster Energy logo on the back, so it's basically the same thing. On one side, it's Suicidal Tendencies. On the other side, it's Monster Energy.
Amazing. I guess so. Before we let you go, I gotta ask again. You just released your new single a little bit ago called "Thunder and Lightning." It's amazing. Everyone, go check it out. You will probably have heard it at the beginning of this, unless Christina doesn't allow us.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll allow
Cool. We won't get sued.
I'll allow it.
She'll allow it. Is there anything else coming on the horizon soon that you are willing to share? I know, with 2020 happening and everything else, you guys haven't started playing shows yet, and so I don't know if this is like the perfect time to go into the studio, but is there anything else coming out anytime?
Honestly, like you said, we haven't started playing shows yet since the pandemic, and 2022 we're going to start playing shows again, so I'm just really freaking ready for that. But what I will say is we do have another single that we're going to put out probably before spring, so I am excited for that, and I'm just excited to play live shows again, man. I feel like we're a little behind on the boat with that, but God, I've been itching for it. So it's going to be nice too, because we'll have a pretty new set list as well, just new songs. So
then in 2023, dropping that double album. It's a concept album about space cows and
Aria, don't give away all our secrets. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, it's fun to see y'all again.
Yeah, good to see you too. It's been so long.
I know. You guys got to come to Texas, really.
Well, one of us is already in Texas. Our
Wait.
drummer has been in Texas since June.
Okay.
We literally, at the beginning of 2020, I think actually we weren't expecting live shows to come back at all. Like we were thinking like it would still be like not the beginning of 2020, at the beginning of 2021. We weren't expecting live shows to come back at all. Like we thought it would be another year of like there not being any live music at all whatsoever. Or maybe it would come back at like in December or something, but like we were not expecting it to come back as soon as it did. And Kelsey, our drummer, like got a job and transferred over to Texas. So she's in San Antonio right now. And then she was supposed to be transferring back after a year, which is why we were like, oh, this will be fine because we're not going to have any shows for a year anyway. But then we did have a bunch of shows. So we've been having our friend Richie from Reasons Above All fill in. It's been fun. But Kelsey did one show with us before she left. And then she also did one when she came to visit.
Fun.
But yeah, she'll be coming back. She can bring you with her.
Yeah.
We can all carpool, road trip all the way back here, and we'll play a show together.
Honestly, that show we played with y'all on that tour was like the most fun. It was the most fun one of the whole tour.
It was again, bias, right? But one, it was a really cool little space. And two, there was actually like everyone was super into it.
Yeah, that's what was so fun about it, was like, I don't know if that's how y'all's scene normally is, but it was just so welcoming and fun. And like, we were brand new, but it felt like we belonged there, which was really cool.
Yeah, I think you guys are honestly like really like the sound that everybody like kind of wanted to, because it's just like everybody here loves pop punk, but I feel like there's not actually that many like real like pop punk bands in like, at least in the IE scene. Like I feel like it's mostly like kind of like either like full punk or like kind of indie type stuff. There's not as many like straight up pop punk bands. There used to be, but I feel like most of them broke up at some point. And so it's like, I feel like honestly, everybody could kind of use some of that.
I remember I don't remember if I was talking to you guys or 18th and Addison when I was trying to set up a date, and I contacted our buddy Mark.
You're married.
Contacted our buddy Marcus, who runs the collective. It was the emo collective at the time. I sent him your guys' links, and he went, "Holy shit! Yes, we'll just figure it out. We'll find a place. We're doing it."
Exactly, because like there used to be a bunch of like pop punk bands, and they just kept breaking up because bands do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, get back here. Like we need you.
100%.
Come save the scene.
That would be
100%.
awesome. Yeah, well, next time we get out there, we'll for sure set something up.
Hell yeah.
Or vice versa. I guess we could probably go to Texas, Aria.
Who's we?
We, our band.
You mean Loser Parade?
Yeah, fuck it.
You want me to sit in a vehicle with you people all the way to Texas?
It would be a delight.
Listen to Tool with Miguel for how many hours is a drive to Texas?
I don't know, about one Tool album.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Thank
one
you all
cool
for watching and listening. We'll see you next time with someone.
Yeah. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll give up.
Yeah. Maybe this will never get aired. Who knows?